This video will continue doing proofs in geometry, fairly simple proofs. Now you'll notice that I have the proof written out here, and I have a second proof here. I have the proof written out here, so that you can see if this is what you need. Now, if you're new to proofs, you should do each one a bunch of times. You have to learn words in a language before you can speak in sentences. Think of it that way. But I have it here so you can see if this is what you need for longer proofs later on. So here we go. Given measure of angle BAC is 35. Measure of angle EDF is also 35. Prove angle BAC is congruent to angle EDF. Very simple proof. Measure of angle BAC is 35. Measure of angle EDF is 35. Measure of angle BAC is 35, given. Measure of angle EDF is 35, given. Measure of angle BAC is congruent to angle EDF. If two angles have the same measure, then they are congruent. Notice the if, then, if, then, if, then. If two angles have the same measure, then they are congruent. We're going to go through this. Yeah, actually. Yeah. So again, we're going to do the proof. We're going to do the proof again, but without this being here. Run through the thought. You want to run through the thought process 2 or 3 times, and then write it out again. Measure of angle BAC is 35. Measure of angle BAC is 35 degrees. Measure of angle EDF is also 35 degrees. Way of marking that, you could do something like this if you want. Angle BAC is congruent to angle EDF. If two angles have the same measure, then they are congruent. Now remember also, measures of angles are equal. Angles themselves are congruent. It seems very picky at first, but so you can see these two angles, they're not in the same position. They're not equal. This one goes this way, that one goes that way, but they are congruent. Next. Given measure of angle GHI is 125 degrees, measure of angle JKL is 125 degrees, prove angle GHI is congruent to angle JKL. You might be wondering if I'm just repeating this just to repeat it. This is an acute angle. This is an obtuse angle. That's the difference. So measure of angle GHI is 125. GHI, 125 degrees. Measure of angle JKL. JKL is also 125 degrees. Angle GHI is congruent to angle JKL. If two angles have the same measure, then they are congruent. You'll notice it's almost the same proof as this. The only difference is this is an acute angle at 35. This is an obtuse angle at 125. So again, we're going to erase the proof here. So again, we're going to erase the proof here. run through it several times, and then you'll want to do it again on your own. Measure of angle GHI is 125 degrees, 125 degrees. Measure of angle JKL is 125 degrees, 125 degrees. Angle GHI is congruent to angle JKL because, take a second and try to say it. If two angles have the same measure, then they are congruent. Before you move on, I would suggest you just keep saying, if two angles have the same measure, then they are congruent. Just say it over and over until it just rolls off the tongue and you don't have to think about it. One of the major hangups geometry students have in geometry is not knowing how to say things. And because they don't know, one of the major hangups people have in geometry is they don't know how to say things exactly, so they feel dumb trying to say it in class. So just by repetition, learn to say it, and then you're good. And then you can move on.